I'm back. Today I'm gonna say again, I'm gonna repeat a question that the disciples asked Jesus as he was sitting there, as he was telling them what was going to happen in the latter times. And they were purely astounded because of all the calamities that were going to come upon mankind. And they were astonished, and they asked him, when's this going to happen? Well, Jesus didn't give them the year. He didn't say when. Except to say it like this. When you see the fig tree, I'm going to paraphrase this. I don't used to be able to recount it perfectly, but he said, when you see the fig tree budding, know ye that summer is nigh. And then another place he says, verily, verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all be fulfilled. So biblical scholars figured out that he wasn't talking about that time and in that day, but he was talking about the latter times, which is our days. But I realized that preachers and pastors and everybody else didn't really understand what they were saying. And those people that went to Dare Road Wesleyan Church and Reverend Keller, who was our preacher, the man was he's a foundation of my own personal beliefs and how things are to be believed. He always said that, hey, I could be wrong. But recounting what the Israelites or the Jewish people believed, that they treated a biblical generation, this is biblical scholars, as every 20 years. Would be the start of the end of an old generation and the start of a new one. And so they looked at the rebirth of Israel, which was 1947, when the United Nations recognized them. And they said, well, Israel's national symbol is a fig tree. So that's the fig tree budding. So now we're in it. And they added 20 years to that, and they came up with 1967. Well, a lot of bad things happened in 67. A lot of bad things were going on. Worldwide, there was worldwide protests, literally, concerning America's involvement in the Vietnam War, but 1967 came and went, and Jesus Christ hadn't come back, and all of these terrible things hadn't happened. So after 1967, I noticed there was kind of a cooling off to Christianity, but not a true loss of faith. I think there were still a lot of people preaching, but so I kept wondering about that, and wondering about it, and I don't know, it just kept popping into my head. So finally one day I got a hold of a Strong's Concordance in the Bible, and I started looking at these things. And to start with, Jesus says, this generation shall not pass. And so I looked at the Strong's Concordance meaning of those words, and the only meaning that works there is die. So I said, okay, well, dies. How long is a man's life? And there it is. After the flood, God tells Noah that man's days shall be numbered no more than 120 years. Now, I looked at everything and I said, okay, 120 years plus 20 added on top of 1947 makes it the year 2067. So that's it. 2067. Is the end of the matter. Let that seep into you for a minute. You know, here's another funny thing. People say, well, no man knoweth the day nor the hour. What is that pertaining to? That's not the tribulation. We can know them days. We can even know the year that Christ is going to come back in, but we can't know the day nor the hour. We can't know the day nor the hour. That's what Christ said. We can know all the rest of it, we just won't know the day nor the hour. Because God is ever specific about what He says. We serve an awesome God. But 2067, I'm saying, is the end of the matter. That's 50 years ago from this year. This spring. Isn't that cool? Click.